Hello, my name is Darthvaderyoda, and what you are about to see is not fact, nor is it false. Just my thoughts on the temporal physics of the Zelda timeline. If you are not a Zelda enthusiast or in no other way entertained or informed by the Zelda timeline, please leave, as this will not be informative nor entertaining for you. But today I'm going to talk about the 3 laws of the Legend of Zelda timeline. I choose 3 because it sounds cool, and I kind of wanted it to be like Isaac Newton. I don't know. The 3 laws of the Legend of Zelda timeline. 1.
These laws only pertain to the split and linear timeline theory.
Law number 2.
Any timeline, split or linear, is still linear.
That's probably the big one, and a lot of people are going to be like, what? Well, I'll tell you a little more about it as I get into it. The 3rd and last law is this.
The child and adult timelines are directly intertwined with each other.
Alright, as we all know, the Ocarina of Time splits. For the splitists, it splits into two timelines. The adult timeline, which is Zelda and Ganon. Link's also there, but I'll get to that eventually. And the other timeline is Link as a child, going to relive the events of his past, but with the same mind of his adult timeline, of his adult counterpart in it. Let's say my body is Ocarina of Time. Alright? This arm would be the child timeline, and this arm would be the adult timeline. Let's get that in the shot. Okay? Are you with me so far? This is 7 years ahead of this one. Technically, you could just go like this. And it looks pretty linear, doesn't it? I look kind of like a fool, but you can see how that's linear. The child timeline, 7 years, and then the adult timeline. If you really think about it, it makes sense, because, that's what the story was all, ever since the beginning. That's what the story has been. Which brings me to my next, point. The Master Sword cannot be destroyed on the child timeline. The Master Sword cannot be destroyed on the child timeline. If you're a lineist, then this really doesn't pertain to you. But for the splitists, you cannot destroy the Master Sword on the adult timeline. A lot of people have, talked about a lot of people talk about the Master Sword being destroyed on the child timeline. Little do they really think about it. You can't destroy something and then have it pop up a couple hundred years later. For people that have reportedly done their homework, they haven't really thought that, well, the adult timeline is 7 years ahead of the child timeline, so you can't destroy the Master Sword in the child timeline, because that one comes first. And you can't destroy something and have it come up a regular, and have it be alive by the end of the timeline. It just doesn't work like that. Something cannot be destroyed and yet brought back, unless it is Ganon, Link, or Zelda. Alright, now, I'm just gonna tell you this. I'm gonna be right up front with you guys. I have never played a Zelda game. I haven't. I've only played the first 2 games. But, think about it. How many times have I referenced Zelda? 3 times? 4 times? Maybe 5? I'm not trying to make a Zelda timeline theory. I'm just trying to tell you that I'm just trying to bust a couple of myths of using temporal physics. A lot of people do not understand the concept of temporal physics, and I was just trying to help you guys a little bit more. And I'm Darthvaderyoda, and those were my thoughts on the temporal logic of the Zelda timelines. thank you for your time. Have a good day, and see you later.